Good morning. Welcome to the Millionaire Book Club. My name is Pearlie Hunter. Side effects of tapping in with me every single morning do include personal development, mindset transformations, paradigm shifts, and the ability to think your way to success. So I'm super blessed this Friday morning, super grateful. Drop me something that you're grateful for. If you go back and watch this replay, drop me something that you're grateful for. Comment and participate, please. I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for this day. I'm grateful for my life. I'm grateful for another chance to serve in my purpose. I'm grateful for my spouse, my children. I'm grateful for my parents. I'm grateful for my family, my extended family, my soul family. I'm grateful for nature. I'm grateful for the universe. I'm grateful for the beautiful rain that's falling right now, cleansing and washing the earth. I'm grateful for everything and everyone. I'm grateful that we made it through another week. I'm grateful for our consistency. I'm grateful for our discipline. I'm grateful for everything and everyone. I'm super grateful, look, because I'm going to pull from a new deck today for us. Look at this deck. The full moon is today. So I'm going to pull from a Moonology Oracle. I'm going to also pull from our other deck too. Okay. So let's get the daily word read really quick. It is July 23rd. And the daily word for the day is gentle. Okay? Gentle. Oh, wait, let me see what Barb said she's grateful for. She said, yes, I am feeling good this morning. You threw me off. I wasn't expecting to see you on here today. I had to see what it is today. Yeah, I was like, you know what? Let's go live. I had went to work last night for a few hours, so I didn't pre-record anything anyway. And I got home at like 2 a.m. And I'm like, we doing this live. We missed all last week because of unforeseen circumstances. Missed Tuesday. We got to get back on track, okay? Barb said, I am grateful for a new day. I'm grateful for God. I'm grateful for my family, my husband. I'm grateful for the Millionaire Book Club. I'm grateful for all that God has in store for me. I'm grateful. Me too. Attitude of gratitude allows that abundance to flow, okay? So gentle is the daily word. I move through life gently. Like a warm breeze that softly touches the skin, I interact with the world gently. I respond to all people and situations in a calm, loving manner. I listen with an open mind and give with an open heart. Today, I choose to extend gentleness to everyone I encounter, including myself. I look to God's unconditional love as inspiration for how to treat others. As I stay grounded and connected to my gentle spirit, my relationships become healthier and more secure. I feel more compassionate and I am at peace. I commit to living gently and responding kindly, creating a placid existence that blesses me and everyone in my life. You must understand this, my beloved. Let everyone be quick to listen, slow to speak, slow to anger, for your anger does not produce God's righteousness. And that is James 1:19 through 20. Okay. Gentle. I am gentle. Let's pull this card. I'm going to pull our regular card first. Okay. So this card deck is the Four Agreements deck. It is by Miguel Ruiz. This was actually the 5th book that we read in the book club. And it was a really good book. It challenged our beliefs, our values. It challenged us to really think about the ways in which we could have potentially been programmed. And if everything that we believe, is it truly our beliefs, or is it a belief that, was just put there and we accepted it? Okay. Let's see. All right, let's see. Be impeccable with your word. Speak with integrity. Be impeccable with your word and speak with integrity. Say only what you mean. Avoid using the word to speak against yourself or to gossip about others. Use the power of your word in the direction of truth and love. Okay. And then the other one is Manifest your true intentions. Be impeccable with your word again. Okay? Manifest your true intentions. Regardless of what language you speak, your intent will manifest through the word. What you dream, what you feel, and what you really are will be manifested through the word. Sweet. Okay, let's get this new deck. Let's get the new deck out. All right. So I got a book. I'm going to read whatever card we pull. I got to read what it say in the book. But look how pretty these cards are. Moon cards. I love it. See it? Okay. Let's see what we get. So the full moon is in Leo today. And yesterday, the full moon is moving into Leo. And yesterday, that's the card I pulled. It was so divine. What if I pull it again? I'll be like, oh my God, oh my God. All right. I hope one just come. Don't make me work hard. What do we need to know for this full moon today? I'm using that one. What do we need to know? Oh, here's the one. So it says, luck is on your side. New moon in Sagittarius. Luck is on your side. Okay. So I'm going to read what that means in the guidebook for us. Luck is on our side. All right. Whatever is coming your way, it looks set to put a smile on your face. The new moon in Sagittarius can mark the restart of fun after a period of feeling low. The energy is adventurous and even willing to take a few risks. But be careful. You don't bet farm on something here, as the wheel of fortune is still spinning. The card is about exploring life metaphorically by exchanging big ideas with others or just thinking about your own philosophies. Perhaps it's time to change your mind about something important. It can also signal that a trip away is coming up, if that's something you're working to achieve. But the overall message of this card is that whatever happens next will be some sort of gift, even if that simply means widening your world view. Okay, so attune to the moon, count your blessings, literally, write them down or say them out loud. So we already do that, right? We already writing down what we're grateful for, our intentions. Additional meanings for this card. You need to laugh more. This is a wonderful time to start a course of study or teaching. Don't be narrow-minded. Start a week of gratitude practice via Facebook, a journal, or blog. Okay. Love that. I'm going to pull from this moon card every full moon, new moon, on all the moon signs. See it? All the moon signs. Okay. All right. Let's get the read started finally. Let's read. Good morning, Crystal. Welcome, Queen. Look at this new deck I just pulled from. Look at this deck, girl. It's sweet. Let me show you what the cards look like. It's so cute. It's just like a moonology oracle. I love it. All right. We're going to get the read started. Drop me something that you're grateful for, Crystal. We are starting off on page 130, okay? 130. Thank you. Starting off on page 130. And a stone on the path, okay? A stone on the path. You know, yesterday I did the last thing I read was the visualization. I hope you guys did it and already have been doing it anyway, right? This was just confirmation that this is what we should be doing. But I definitely took the time yesterday to go in my garden, clean up some things, take out some weeds, plant new seeds. I did that, and it felt so good to go there in my mind to have everything I wanted, everything I needed, exactly the way I wanted it and needed it. Is really, really an experience. Then it's like when you open your eyes, you're like, okay, right? But you're still grateful for this reality, because this reality is setting up for the next reality that we are creating and manifesting. Grateful for everything. Just waking up is a blessing. Yes, ma'am. It sure is. Okay. So a stone on the path. The goal of all this preparation is to bring intentionality to the entire day. The moment you leave your home, there will be more curveballs, whatever your job may be. You're going to need the energy and focus you cultivated all morning. Monks don't just have morning routines and nighttime routines. We use routines of time and location every moment of the day. Sister Joan Chitziter, the Benedictine nun I've already mentioned, says, people living in the cities and suburbs can make choices about the way they live, though most of them don't see that because they are conditioned to be on the go all the time. Imagine for a moment what America would look like. Imagine the degree of serenity we'd have if lay people had something comparable to the daily schedule of the cloistered life. It provides scheduled time for prayer, work, and recreation. Routines root us. The 2 hours I spend meditating support the other 22 hours of my day, just as the 22 hours influence my meditation. The relationship between the two is symbiotic. In the ashram, we took the same 30-minute walk on the same path at least once every day. Every day, the monk asked us to keep our eyes open for something different, something we'd never before seen on this walk that we had taken yesterday, and the day before, and the day before that. Spotting something new every day on our familiar walk was a reminder to keep our focus on that walk, to see the freshness in each routine, to be aware. Seeing something is not the same as noticing it. Researchers at UCLA asked faculty, staff, and students in the Department of Psychology whether they knew the location of the nearest fire extinguisher. Only 24% could remember where the closest one was, even though for 92% of the participants, a fire extinguisher was just a few feet from where they filled out the survey, which was usually their own office or a classroom they frequently visited. Okay, which proves that, what did he say? Seeing something is not the same as noticing it, right? You can see something but never really notice it, right? Notice that it's there. One professor didn't realize that there was a fire extinguisher just inches from the office he'd occupied for 25 years. Truly noticing what's around us keeps our brains from shifting to autopilot. At the ashram, we were trained to do this on our daily walk. I have taken this walk for hundreds of days now. It is hot, but not unpleasant in my robes. The forest is leafy and cool. The dirt path feels soothing underfoot. Today, a senior monk has asked us to look for a new stone, one that we have never noticed before. I am slightly disappointed. For the past week or so, we've been asked to look for a new flower every day. And yesterday, I lined up an extra one for today. A tiny blue flower cupping a drop of dew that seemed to wink at me as if it were on my plant. But no, our leader is somehow onto me and has switched things up. And so the hunt is on. Monks understand that routine frees your mind, but the biggest threat to that freedom is monotony. People complain about their poor memories, but I've heard it said that we don't have a retention problem. We have an attention problem. By searching for the new, you are reminding your brain to pay attention and rewiring it to recognize that there's something to learn in everything. Life isn't as certain as we assume. How can I advocate both for establishing routines and seeking out novelty? Aren't these contradictory? But it is precisely doing the familiar that creates room for discovery. The late Kobe Bryant was onto this. The basketball legend had started showing his creative side, developing books and a video series. As Bryant told me on my podcast, On Purpose, having a routine is critical to his work, right? And I feel like that's a repetitive phrase and statement amongst a lot of wealthy people, right? Morning routines, reading daily, right? Getting up super early. It's just certain things. When you have those parameters and structure, then within that, you can be creative. If you don't have structure, you're just aimlessly doing stuff. Rules and routines ease our cognitive burden, so we have bandwidth for creativity. Ooh, I like that. Rules and routines ease our cognitive burden, so we have bandwidth for creativity. Structure enhances spontaneity, and discovery reinvigorates the routine. This approach leads to delight in small things. We tend to anticipate the big events of life, holidays, promotions, birthday parties. We put pressure on these events to live up to our expectations. But if we look for small joys, we don't have to wait for them to come up on the calendar, okay? If we look for small joys, if we can go outside and just the sight of the birds being happy, chirping, you know what I'm saying? The sight of the sun, the sight of the moon, those little things can make you happy as well. You don't have to wait on the holiday, the birthday, right? All right. But if we look for small joys, we don't have to wait for them to come up on the calendar. Instead, they await us every day if we take the time to look for them. And I found it. Here, a curious orangey stone that has seemingly appeared out of nowhere since yesterday. I turn it over in my palm. Finding the stone isn't the end of our discovery process. We observe it deeply, describe the color, the shape, immerse ourselves in it in order to understand and appreciate it. Then we might describe it again to be sure we've experienced it fully. This isn't an exercise. It's real, a deep experience. I smile before returning it to the edge of the path, half hidden, but there for someone else to find. To walk down the same old path and find a new stone is to open your mind, okay? To walk down the same old path and find a new stone is to open your mind. Chew your drinks and drink your food. Monk training wasn't just about spotting the new. It was about doing familiar things with awareness. One afternoon, a senior monk told us, "Today, we will have a silent lunch. Remember to chew your drinks and drink your food." What does that mean? I asked. We don't take the time to consume our food properly, the monk said. When you drink your food, grind the solids into liquid. When you chew your drink, instead of gulping it down, take each sip as if it is a morsel to be savored. If a monk can be mindful of a single sip of water, imagine how this carries through to the rest of daily life. How can you discover the everyday? When you exercise, can you see the route that you run or feel the rhythms of the gym differently? Do you see the same woman walking her dog every day? Could you greet her with a nod? When you shop for food, can you take the time to choose the perfect apple or the most unusual one? Can you have a personal exchange with the cashier? In your physical space, how can you look at things freshly? There are articles all around our homes and our workspaces that we have put out because they please us. Photos, knickknacks, art, objects. Look at yours closely. Are these a true reflection of what brings you joy? Right? So the way you decorate it, right? Your feng shui. Are these a true reflection of what brings you joy? Are there other favorites that deserve a turn in the spotlight? And inject some novelty into your familiar surroundings. Add flowers to a vase or rearrange your furniture to find a new brightness and purpose in familiar possessions. Simply choosing a new place for incoming mail can change it from clutter to part of an organized life. Okay. I want to try this really quick before I turn the page. Okay. So try this. Same old, same new. Look for something new in a routine that you already have. What can you spy on your commute that you have never seen before? Try starting a conversation with someone you see regularly, but haven't ever engaged. Do this with one new person every day and see how your life changes. Okay. We can awaken the familiarity of home by changing things up. Have music playing when your partner comes home if that's something you don't usually do. Or vice versa. If you usually put on music or a podcast when you get home, try silence instead. Bring a strange piece of fruit home from the store and put it in the middle of the dinner table. Introduce a topic of conversation to your dinner companions or take turns reporting 3 surprising moments in the day. Switch the light bulb to a softer or clearer light. Flip the mattress. Sleep on the wrong side of the bed. So y'all get it? Like just doing stuff differently, not out of the norm, right? Not so routine-y, because that gets boring. That gets predictable. Okay. Appreciating the everyday doesn't even have to involve change so much as finding value in everyday activities. Appreciating the everyday doesn't even have to involve change so much as finding the value in everyday activities. In his book, At Home in the World, the monk Thich Nhat Hanh writes, "To my mind, the idea that doing dishes is unpleasant can occur only when you aren't doing them." Okay? If I am incapable of washing dishes joyfully, if I want to finish them quickly so I can go and have dessert or a cup of tea, I will be equally incapable of enjoying my dessert or my tea when I finally have them. Each thought, each action in the sunlight of awareness becomes sacred. In this light, no boundary exists between the sacred and the profane. Okay? So try this. Transform the mundane. Even a task as quotidian as doing the dishes can transform if you let it. Allow yourself to be in front of the sink, committed to a single task. Instead of putting on music, focus all your senses on the dishes. Watch their surfaces go from grimy to clean. Smell the dish soap. Feel the stream of the hot water. Observe how satisfying it is to see the sink go from full to empty. There is a Zen cont that says, before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. No matter how much we grow, we are never free of daily chores and routines. But to be enlightened is to embrace them. Good morning, Bree. Welcome, Queen. The outside may look the same, but inside you are transformed. Okay? So every moment of the day, we've talked about taking an ordinary, familiar moment and finding new ways to appreciate it. To take that presence to another level, we try to string these moments together so that we're not picking and choosing certain walks or dishwashing episodes to make special. We're elevating our awareness of every moment at every moment. We're all familiar with the idea of being in the moment. It's not hard to see that if you're running a race, you won't be able to go back and change how fast you ran at mile 2. Okay? Your only opportunity to succeed is in that moment. Whether you are at a work meeting or having dinner with friends, the conversations you have, the words you choose, you won't ever have another opportunity just like that one, right? In that moment, you can't change the past, and you're deciding the future. So you might as well be where you are. Kalidasa, the great Sanskrit writer of the 5th century, wrote, "Yesterday is but a dream. Tomorrow is only a vision. But today well lived makes every yesterday a dream of happiness and every tomorrow a vision of hope." Okay? So what you're doing today is setting you up for tomorrow, right? And whatever we do when tomorrow comes, we'll never be able to get yesterday back. So make sure you do the right things right now, right? So you don't even feel like you want to go back, because you can't. We may all agree that living in the present makes sense. But the truth is that we're only willing to have selective presence. We're willing to be present at certain times, during a favorite show or a yoga class, or even during the mundane tasks we've chosen to elevate. But we still want to be distracted when we choose to be distracted. We spend time at work dreaming about going on a beach vacation, but then on the beach, long awaited drink in hand, we're annoyed to find that we can't stop thinking about work. Monks learned that these two scenarios are connected. A desired distraction at work bleeds into unwanted distraction on vacation. Distraction at lunch bleeds into the afternoon. We are training our minds to be where we physically aren't. Okay? If you allow yourself to daydream, you will always be distracted. Being present is the only way to live a truly rich and full life. Okay? I feel like this tea keep making me burp. It's either this tea or this incense, something. Okay. Location has energy. Location has energy. It is easier to see the value of being present throughout an ordinary day, and easier to be truly present if you understand and appreciate the benefits that routine has to offer. Routines aren't just about actions. They're also about the locations in which those actions take place. There's a reason people study better in libraries and work better in offices. New York City imparts its hustle and bustle, while LA makes you feel laid back. Each environment, from the biggest city to the smallest corner of a room, has its own particular energy. Every location gives off a different feeling, and your Dharma thrives or falters in specific environments. We are constantly experiencing a range of activities and environments, but we don't pause to contemplate which ones most appeal to us. Do you thrive in busy environments or in solitude? Do you like the safety of cozy nooks or spacious libraries? Do you prefer to be surrounded by stimulating artwork and music? Or does uncluttered simplicity help you concentrate? Do you like to bounce ideas off others or to get feedback after completing a job? Do you prefer familiarity or a change of scenery? Having this self-awareness serves your Dharma. It means that when you step into a job interview, you have a better sense of how you will perform at this job and whether it's a good match. It means that when you plan a date, you can choose a place where you will be most comfortable. When you imagine different careers within your skill set, you know which ones are best suited to your sensibilities. Okay? Try this. Environmental awareness. For every environment where you spend time this week, ask yourself the following questions. If possible, ask them right after the experience, then again at the end of the week. What were the key features of the space? Quiet or loud, big or small, vibrant or plain, in the center of an active space or removed, close to other people or isolated? How did I feel in this space? Productive, relaxed, distracted? Did the activity I was doing fit well with the place where I was doing it? Was I in the best mindset for what I set out to do? If not, is there another place where I am more comfortable accomplishing what I planned? The more your personal spaces are devoted to single, clear purposes, the better they will serve you, not just in the fulfillment of your Dharma, but in your mood and productivity. Just as the room where we monks slept was designed for nothing but sleep, so every place in the ashram was devoted to a single activity. We didn't read or meditate where we slept. We didn't work in the refectory. In the world outside an ashram, to watch Netflix and or eat in your bedroom is to confuse the energy of that space. If you bring those energies to your bedroom, it becomes harder to sleep there. Even in the tiniest apartment, you can dedicate spaces to different activities. Every home should have a place to eat, a place to sleep, a sacred space that helps you feel calm, and a space that feels comforting when you are angry. Create spaces that bring you the energy that matches your intention. A bedroom should have few distractions, calm colors, soft lighting. Ideally, it should not contain your workspace. Meanwhile, a workspace should be well lit, uncluttered, and functional with art that inspires you. When you identify where you thrive, focus on expanding those opportunities. If you're drawn to the energy of a nightclub in your leisure time, would you do better in a career that is equally vibrant? If you're a rock musician, but you thrive in quiet, then maybe you should be composing music instead of performing. If you have the perfect job working from home, but you prefer the activity of an office, look to move your work to a cafe or a shared workspace. The point is to be aware about where you thrive, where you're at your best, and to figure out how to spend the most time in that place. Of course, we are all obligated to do activities we don't like in environments that aren't ideal, especially work. And we've all experienced the negative energies that these activities generate. With elevated awareness, we understand what has made us impatient, stressed, or drained, and develop guidelines for what living in our Dharma in the right environment with the right energy would look like. This should be the long-term goal. Okay. And you have to be the one to control that, right? Because you are the creator of your experiences. So if you are surrounding yourselves in environments that don't serve you, that you aren't comfortable in, that's not beneficial. That's not beneficial for you. But with you being self-aware, with you being self-mastery, with you knowing, working on personal development, working on yourself, you can guide that. You can have some type of say-so in it, right? You can protect your energy. You can protect your peace, right? You can set yourself up for great experiences, not bad experiences, just based off of the things you like and don't like, truly. Sound design your life. Your location and your senses speak to each other. This is most obvious when we think about the sounds that we encounter every day. In monk life, the sounds we hear relate directly to what we are doing. We wake up to birds and winds. We hear chanting as we walk into a meditation. There is no painful noise. But the modern world is getting louder. Planes howl overhead. Dogs bark. Drills whine. We're subjected to uncontrollable noise all day, right? And how true is this? When you sit outside and meditate, you have to block out so many different things, right? Lawnmowers going, cars riding by, people outside talking and screaming, right? It's just so many things. The train, I always hear a train when I sit down and meditate. All types of stuff. But the modern world is getting louder. Oh, I just said that. Planes howl overhead, dogs bark, drills whine. We're subjected to uncontrollable noise all day. We think we're ignoring the honk and clatter of daily life, but all of it adds to our cognitive load. The brain processes sound even when we don't consciously hear it. At home, many of us retreat to silence, so we live in the extremes of silence and noise. Instead of tuning out the noise in your life, sound design it. Start by picking the best alarm tone in the world. Begin the day with a song that makes you happy. On your way to work, listen to a beloved audiobook, a favorite podcast, or your go-to playlist. Choose sounds that make you feel happier and healthier. The better to replicate the highly curated life in an ashram. Okay? Time has memory. Time has memory. When we tailor our locations for specific purposes, we're better able to summon the right kind of energy and attention. The same is true for time. Doing something at the same time every day helps us remember to do it, commit to it, and do it with increasing skill and facility. If you're accustomed to going to the gym every morning at the same time, try going in the evening for a change, and you'll see what a challenge it is. When we do something at the same time every day, that time keeps that memory for us. It holds the practice. It saves the space. When you want to incorporate a new habit into your routine, like meditating or reading, don't make it more difficult by trying to do it whenever you have a free moment. Slot it into the same time every day. Even better, link the new practice to something that's already a habit. A friend of mine wanted to incorporate daily yoga into her schedule, so she laid a mat right next to her bed. She literally rolled out of bed and into her yoga practice. Marrying habits is a way of circumventing excuses, okay? This has been good. I have to go. We'll listen again on YouTube. Continue to be blessed and have a super fantastic day, Queen. Thank you, Barb. Have a great day. Enjoy. Protect your energy and your peace today, Queen. Protect yourself, girl. Okay. Location has energy. Time has memory. If you do something at the same time every day, it becomes easier and natural. If you do something in the same space every day, it becomes easier and natural. Okay? Single tasking. Time and location help us maximize the moment, but there is one essential component to being wholly present in that moment. Single tasking. Studies have found that only 2% of us can multitask effectively. Most of us are terrible at it, especially when one of those tasks requires a lot of focus. When we think we're multitasking, what's usually happening is that we're shifting rapidly among several different things, or serial tasking. This fragmented attention actually erodes our ability to focus. So doing just one thing at a time without distraction becomes harder. Researchers from Stanford University took a group of students and divided them into two groups. Those who frequently switch among multiple streams of media, checking email, social media, and headline news, for instance, and those who don't. They put the groups through a series of attention and memory tasks, such as remembering sequences of letters and focusing on certain color shapes while ignoring others. And the media multitaskers consistently performed poorly. They even did worse on a test of task switching ability. To make single tasking easier for myself, I have no tech zones and times. Okay? No tech zones and times. My wife and I don't use tech in the bedroom or at the dining table, and try not to between 8 p.m. and 9 a.m. I try to practice single tasking with mundane tasks in order to strengthen the habit. I used to brush my teeth without thought. They were white enough. They looked great. But then the dentist told me that I damaged my gums. Now I spend 4 seconds on each tooth. I count in my head 1, 2, 3, 4, which gives me something to do. I'm still spending the same amount of time brushing my teeth, but I'm doing it in a more effective way. If I think about business when I'm brushing my teeth or in the shower, it doesn't feel nourishing and energizing. And I don't take care with my gums. When you're brushing, just brush. When you're showering, just shower. We don't have to be focused like a laser beam on every task every time. It's okay to listen to music while cleaning the bathroom or talk with your partner while eating together. Just as some instruments sound great together, certain habits complement each other. But single tasking, as much as possible, keeps your brain in the habit of focusing on one thing at a time. And you should pick certain routines where you always single task, like walking the dog, using your phone, one app at a time, showering, or folding the laundry in order to build the skill. Okay? Going all the way. Going all the way. Routines become easier if you've done something immersively. If you want to bring a new skill into your life, I recommend that you kick it off with single-pointed focus for a short period of time. If I play ping pong every day for an hour, I'm definitely going to be better at it. If you want to start a daily meditation, a week-long meditation, retreat will give you a strong base on which to build. Okay? Throughout this book, I suggest many changes you can make to your life. But if you try to change everything at the same time, they will all become small, equal priorities. Change happens with small steps and big priorities. Pick one thing to change, make it your number one priority, and see it through before you move on to the next. Monks tried to do everything immersively. Our lunches were silent. Our meditations were long. We didn't do anything in just 5 minutes, except for showering. We weren't showering immersively. We had the luxury of time, and we used it to single task for hours on end. That same level of immersion isn't possible in the modern world. But the greater your investment, the greater your return. If something is important, it deserves to be experienced deeply. And everything is important. We all procrastinate and get distracted, even monks. But if you give yourself more time, then you can afford to get distracted and then refocus. In your morning routine, having limited time means that you're one phone call or spilled coffee away from being late to work. If you're frustrated with learning a new skill, understanding a concept, or assembling a piece of IKEA furniture, your instinct will be to pull away. But go all in and you'll accomplish more than you thought possible. Even the hymnist dresser, allegedly IKEA's most difficult build. As it turns out, periods of deep focus are also good for your brain. When we switch tasks compulsively, like the multitaskers who show poor memory and focus in the Stanford study, it erodes our ability to focus. We overstimulate the dopamine reward channel. That's also the addiction pathway. So we are compelled to stimulate it more and more to get the same feel-good hit. And that leads to more and more distraction. Okay? But ultimately, ironically, the feel-good of dopamine bums us out. Too much dopamine can keep our bodies from making and processing serotonin, the contentment chemical. If you've ever spent the day jumping on and off calls, in and out of meetings, ordering this book from Amazon and checking that thread on Snapchat, you know that feeling of exhaustion you have at the end of it all. It's a dopamine hangover. When we allow ourselves to have immersive experiences through meditation, focused periods of work, painting, doing a crossword puzzle, weeding a garden, and many other forms of contemplative single tasking, we're not only more productive, we actually feel better. There are plenty of magazine articles and phone apps that encourage you to meditate for 5 minutes a day. I'm not against that, but I'm also not surprised if it does nothing for you. Dang, you ain't have to say that. In our culture, it is commonplace to devote 5 to 10 minutes to one daily practice or another. But the truth is, you achieve very little in 5 minutes. I've had more than one friend complain to me, Jay, I've been meditating for 5 minutes a day for 7 months, and it's not working. Imagine you were told you could spend 5 minutes a day for a whole month with someone you were attracted to. At the end of the month, you still barely know them. You definitely wouldn't be in love. There's a reason we want to talk to someone all night when we're falling in love. Maybe sometimes it's even the other way around. We fall in love because we talked to someone all night. The ocean is full of treasures, but if you swim on the surface, you don't see them all. I love that, right? The ocean is full of treasures, but if you swim on the surface, you won't see them all, right? If you never take that time to sit with yourself, to think, to just be still, right? To be still and be. I like that a lot. All right. So the ocean is full of treasures, but if you swim on the surface, you won't see them all. If you start a meditation practice with the idea that you can instantly clear your mind, you'll soon learn that immersion takes time and practice. When I began to meditate, it took me a good 15 minutes to settle physically and another 15 to settle down the mental chatter. I've been meditating for 1 to 2 hours a day for 13 years, and it still takes me 10 minutes to switch off my mind. I'm not saying you have to meditate 2 hours a day for 13 years to get the benefit. That's not the point. I have confidence that any process can work if you do it immersively. After you break the barrier and commit yourself wholly, you start experiencing the benefits. You lose track of time. The feeling of being fully engaged is often so rewarding that when it's time to stop, you want to return to the experience. I recommend using immersive experience as a kickoff or reinvigoration for a regular practice. To my friend who was frustrated with his 5 minutes a day meditation practice, I said, I get it. Time is tough to find, but if you feel like you're not getting enough from it, try taking an hour-long class. Then return to your 10-minute practice. You might find it has become more powerful. If you want, you could try a day-long retreat. I talked to him about falling in love, how eventually you aren't compelled to stay up all night anymore because you've gotten to know the person. 5 minutes goes a lot further when you're married, I told him. Maybe you in meditation could use a romantic getaway, right? So if it's hard to meditate in your environment, if it's too many distractions, rent a room for a day, 2 days, right? Go be by yourself where you have all free time to think, to be, to plan, right? To rejuvenate. That's a part of self-care. Okay. And that is okay. That's not selfish. That's selfless, actually. That's you taking the time to fill your cup so then you can go pour into someone else, right? Routines are counterintuitive. Instead of being boring and repetitive, doing the same task at the same time in the same place makes room for creativity. Okay? The consistent energy of location and memory of time help us be present in the moment. Engaging deeply in tasks instead of getting distracted or frustrated. Build routines and train yourself as monks do to find focus and achieve deep immersion, right? Once we quell our external distractions, we can address the most subtle and powerful distractions of all, the voices inside our heads, okay? Yay! So that's it for this chapter, family. We are done. Friday, finish chapter 6, all about routines, morning routines, night routines, Adding to your routine, breaking routine, being more slow with your routines, right? Being more aware of your routines, intentionally finding something different, right, about the day, different about the scenery, switching it up a little bit, because routines can get a little boring, but they are needed. They are needed for consistency. They are needed to create that space, right? They are needed. And honestly, like, even for me with this book club, like last week when I couldn't do it, when that routine got interrupted, I felt off, right? I felt off as well. So they are definitely pivotal with this process of growth, self-development, self-awareness, self-mastery. It allows you to hold yourself accountable. I feel like when you have routines, you can hold yourself accountable. You know, if you done went 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days without, now you're like, oh, okay, I'm off. I'm out of alignment. And then you have a basis to get back into alignment. Good morning, Rochelle. Welcome. I'm actually ending right now, but yes, chapter 6 was beautiful. If you need to go back and catch up, just go to my YouTube channel at I Coach Wealth. Monday morning, we are going to start chapter 7, which is all about the mind. So I'm super excited. He said we're going to talk about these voices in our head. A lot of time we are our worst enemy, right? We are the ones standing in our own way. And so many people have that mental chatter and they don't know how to balance it, don't know how to block it out. But we're going to talk about it with Jay Shetty on Monday. And I'm super, super blessed, super grateful and thankful that you were here for the read today. Thank you so much. Protect your energy today. Protect your peace today. Be a light today. Be kind for no reason today, right? Be kind on purpose. Don't allow other people to dictate and determine your energy, right? You bring your energy into the room and you allow others to rise to your level of awareness, your vibration, your frequency. Don't dim your light for nobody today, okay? Be nice to those people on your job today, okay? Don't allow outside circumstances to affect the internal peace today. That is a choice, right? We choose, we wake up by ourselves, right? So when we wake up in the morning, we choose, we are happy. Whatever we run into throughout the course of the day, we can still remain happy. We don't have to allow those things to negatively affect us. So that's it for today, family. I'm super, super grateful, super blessed. I am your sister in love. I am your sister in light. I appreciate y'all, and y'all have a great, safe weekend, and I see y'all Monday morning. Let's go.